Hello YouTube, so I've got some time to kill today. Decided to go and see what there is about in terms of new cars. So there's a BMW garage nearby, gonna go and see that. Maybe the Porsche garage if we get some time. And there's also the Mercedes-Benz World. Gonna go and see, what's new. See if we can have a little poke around in any of the performance cars. New cars coming out. Sometimes they have even prototypes there. I know in the Mercedes-Benz World sometimes we've got cars that are not out on the market yet. So it'll be hopefully a good afternoon out. Time's a bit short, but we're trying to make the most of it. Catch you in a bit. And we arrive at our first stop, the BMW dealership. First car on display, the new Z4, third generation car. The one on display is the xDrive 20i. There is an xDrive 30i, which has the same engine as the 20i, the 2-litre turbo, just different power. There is an M40i version, which has got the 3-litre engine, which is the same as the engine you find in the Toyota Supra. The new Supra and the Z4 share the base platform. The Z4, the new model, the big change from the last one is the new one only has the soft top option. You don't get the folding hard top. Very different looks from the last one. If you put them next to each other, you probably couldn't tell they're the same car, just a newer generation. And yeah, looks are subjective. It's a nice looking sports car. They're quite expensive for what they are, but it's got a BMW badge. And next car in the room next door is the new i8 Roadster. Now this is the latest version of the i8. This one has the soft top that rolls into the boot. The Roadster is a little bit more powerful than the standard coupe model. Really nice interior. It's supposedly the conscious decision or conscious choice sports car. It does have a very busy design. There are loads of fins and vents here, there and everywhere. And all in all, it's a nice car, but for over £100,000, you have a lot of other choices. This was a cool little display on the wall, a history of BMW from 1916 all the way to 2013 and beyond. Obviously, this was recorded in 2019. We're 2020 now. Anyway, look inside, and it's quick to notice the M4 competition pack on display. Obviously, BMW no longer makes the normal M4. It's only available as a competition pack. 450 horsepower. Comes in two guises, as you may know, Coupe and the Convertible. A lot of money. This car on display was, as you can see, on the road price, just over £73,000. It's got a fair few options. It's got the Harman Kardon. It's got the nice white leather, marine leather interior. However, as you will see later, there are better cars to be had. The new M5, this is in the standard guise, not the competition pack. Still a £100,000 car. It's a monster of a car. It's remarkably different from the previous generation, where the new one is obviously four-wheel drive and the old one wasn't four-wheel drive. The interior is heaps and bounds ahead of the last generation. It's very different with the digital cluster dash, really amazing seats. This one was in a pearlescent white matte colour. I did think that it was a very handsome looking taxi. They are just very, if you don't know and if you don't notice the four exhausts and the more aggressive front, it's a very sedate looking car. Another i8 Roadster, and there's a new 8 Series Coupe. And my favourite, the i3. I'm a big fan of this car because of its what it represents. Again, a very expensive car. And this one is a 94 amp hour, albeit a range extender with the nicer option interior. But it is a £43,000 car, a lot of money. It's got the Harman Kardon stereo and it's got the Pro Nav, but the interesting part of these cars is the exposed carbon fibre, effectively tub. The main part of the car that protects you from any collision and also keeps the car rigid is made of carbon fiber, composite material. So it's a very very clever construction, and also it uses the latest and the best production capabilities. It's a very nice car. As materials go, it's very different. There are some statements from BMW out there that tell you more about it. This is where the fuel tank is for the range extender. And here we are, the 840D, the diesel Grand Tourer car with a diesel engine. I don't know, diesel engines, they're good and bad. In a car like this, I think it suits it. It's a big lazy car. The seats were quite flat, which was quite surprising. For a car that's meant to be quite sporty, the seats don't seem to offer a great deal of support, lateral support left to right. The interior is really nice. You can't fault it. I mean, it's a beautiful place to be. This one being the 840, it's got the 3-litre diesel engine, turbo diesel, but the engine's set quite far back, and as you can see, there's a big gap from where the engine starts and where the car ends from the front. Big holes and gaping gaps everywhere, which are obviously filled depending on which options you take and which engine you pick. And yeah, we're gonna go and have a look outside now to see what there is. This is an 840, it's a 540i. It's a xDrive, M Sports, and all the rest of it. £42,500. It's a great saving compared to a brand new one. Nonetheless, as you will see shortly, it's not a very bargain price. There are loads of 4x4s on display. There is the X1, a car that I never understood. It's neither a hatchback or a crossover or anything. An M3, it's the standard car, not the competition pack. It's got nice, it's a good contrast of the fox red leather interior and the grey outer. This one is on for 44.5, as you can see. Hardly any miles on it. And there's another one, a competition pack car next to it. This one has a few options. It's again same sort of price, 44,300, and with only a bit over 4.5, just under 8. Let's say 5,000 miles on the clock. Standard family cars here, a 316i and a 320i, and there is an used i3. This one is on for 28.5. So it's a very similar model to the one that was inside. That was on for 45, nearly 43, 43.5. And as you can see, it's nearly £20,000 cheaper. Good view of the M3. It's a bit of a contradiction here, looking at a car with electric powered and here to save the planet next to a 450 horsepower gas guzzler. Another car I don't understand, the GT range. Why not just have an estate car? They are, again, looks are subjective, but I'm not a big fan. The new X5 to me looks like a Jeep Cherokee from the back. It's, you could pick up a last generation Cherokee, and it's a very similar looking car, and they're massive. The wheels, these are really large alloy wheels, 21-inch wheels, and makes it look like they're 15-inch wheels from the mid-90s. An M4 here with the M Performance Pack. So it's not the CS or the special edition one, it's just an option that the previous owner, whoever spec'd it, has ticked. Again, you see the price of these and it makes you wonder why you would want to buy one brand new. This one is done, just over 10,000, 12,000 miles, 42,000. Here is another one, again, another competition pack, quite a docile spec with the grey, but again, in the mid-40s, and another one. This one is another one next to it. There is quite a choice. There are a lot of M4s to choose from on the dealership forecourts. It looks like they've gone out there and spec'd a load and ended up with a lot of second-hand cars that they need to get rid of. Quite an interesting selection, as I said. it's as M4s go. And here we are, and there's another 8 Series. This time is the 840D xDrive Convertible. It's a nice looking car, huge brakes, filling those 20-inch rims really nicely, and it's actually quite nice to see. Carbon, I never understood carbon fiber parts on cars of this size and magnitude. I mean, it's hardly a lightweight car. And here it is, the car with the biggest grille in the world. This is a facelift model of the latest 7 Series. This one is a 745E, so it's got a 3-litre twin-turbo petrol engine plus an electric motor, altogether 389 horsepower. Not the kind of car that I would imagine it would be very exhilarating to drive. You probably want to be chauffeured around in it. Quite ostentatious, makes quite a statement as cars go. And another 8 Series, another coupe. This is another 840D. We know what the spec is. Again, it's, you know, massive car. Nice looking GT car, but huge. Lots of car choices here, as you can see. There's a Mini there, because obviously Mini Garage is next door to the BMW, as in most cases there are. But yeah, we're pretty much done here. It's quite interesting to kind of have a look. You know, cars are definitely getting bigger. We've seen all that this place has to offer, and I will catch you when I'm back in the car. Alright, so we're just at the BMW garage, well, BMW and Mini, and yeah, just had a look around. Not sure what I think really. A lot of the cars are just big and bulky. Seems like they're trying to tap into the more luxurious end of the market, like with the 8 Series, the 6 Series. There are lots of pointless cars. They're these GTs, and they're the ones that are like a little bit bigger, and they're SUVs. How many SUVs like do the streets need? I mean, London roads at least can tell you they're not getting any bigger. They're not getting any quieter. Anywho, so yeah, not most impressed. I think the most impressive car they've got in there, definitely the Roadster's got something about it, but it's too fussy. The i3, I really like those. They don't have an i3S. They're quite interesting little cars. I think that's definitely the future. And I think, yeah, Minis are much of a muchness. They haven't changed much in the past 4 or 5 years. And because I drive one almost daily, I think I'm less inclined to go and have a look at them anymore. Yeah, and there was the new Z4. Just can't get on with the ever increasing size of the front grille on BMWs. Maybe it's me. Some people like it. Obviously the designers in BMW think it's a great idea to have a ginormous front grille, but it just is a bit too ostentatious and a bit, yeah, garish. It's not a Rolls Royce, you know. I know they own the brand, but come on, just kind of make the distinction between the two. Anywho, let's go to the Mercedes-Benz world, see what's going on there. That place is a lot more interesting because it's a museum too. So yeah, to the next destination. See you soon.